In the cold void of space, there are places where even the light can get trapped, where time just literally stops, reality gets shredded. And these places are like monsters. And these monsters are called as black holes. You know what's the most interesting thing about them? It's that the man who discovered them through his own equations didn't believe they can exist. His name is Albert Einstein himself. In 1915, Einstein came up with the general theory of relativity. As we all know, this was a banger in which Einstein literally described that gravity is not just force, but it's a bend of space-time curvature itself. Only a few months later, from the muddy trenches of World War I, a German physicist, Earl Schwarzschild, was solving Einstein's equation for a perfectly spherical mass. And the discovery was totally unsettling. You know what he found? He found that at some point in space, the gravity would be so intense that the space-time itself would collapse into it. At that time, it was dismissed and ignored as a mathematical curiosity. But now, we call that thing as a black hole. Einstein believed that nature would find a way and avoid such a disastrous consequence of space-time being warped into a single point of space with such high gravity. And his reasoning was justified. He thought the stars might have their own internal pressure, thermal energy, radiation, which would prevent such an event. And most of the scientists agreed. A black hole? That sounded like a joke. Or you can say science fiction. In 1939, a young American physicist, J. Robert Oppenheimer, yes, the same Oppenheimer, challenged this belief. He and his student, Hartland Snyder, calculated that if a massive star, many times bigger than our sun, exhausts its nuclear fuel, there is no stopping the gravity in crushing it into a single point of space. The star itself would collapse past no point of return. To a distant observer, its light would redshift into longer and longer wavelengths. The time would appear to be frozen at the event horizon. To Einstein, this was still unconvincing. He believed that such an object cannot exist in real universe. But the stage was set. The monsters were out. We just hadn't seen them yet. In 1960s, astronomy was revolutionized. It was a new era in astronomy. Radio telescopes began to scan the sky. X-ray telescopes mounted on top of rockets began to peek into our universe. And with the help of this, astronomers found something strange. Objects like Cygnus X1, an immense source of X-rays, was orbiting something strange, something unseen, something invisible. This invisible object was too big to be a neutron star. The possible explanation? The black hole. Well, the monsters were real. Over the decades, black holes went from fringe theory to mainstream science. Extensive research started to happen in this field. And what we learned was there are black holes so immensely massive that they may be millions or billions of times larger than our sun. They shape our galaxies, they power the quasars, and they wrap the space-time itself. In the April of 2019, finally, humanity saw the unseeable, the Event Horizon Telescope. A network of radio observatories across the globe managed to see a shadow of a black hole in a distant galaxy named M87, a dark circle against a ring of superheated plasma. This was the ultimate vindication of Einstein's equations, or you can say a final wink from the man who never believed in such a thing. From the mathematical oddity to the extreme objects in the universe, black holes remind us of something, that sometimes even the universe is too complex for the greatest minds to imagine.